we're gearing up for our summer 2023 season, which is going to be screening on July 16th at the beautiful historic Clinton Street Theater. And today I'm talking with some participating filmmakers, Dana and Mark Serao, whose film Secret Santa will be playing on July 16th. Thank you both so much for meeting with me today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So can you tell me quickly what your roles were on Secret Santa?
Yes, I wrote, produced, and edited Secret Santa.
Okay.
And I was the director and also producer as well on Secret Santa.
Excellent. Well, let's jump into it. What inspired you guys to make this film?
So we own a video production company called Gray Sky Films located here in New Jersey. And every year we put out a holiday video for our friends, family, clients, and really anybody who will watch it.
Okay.
And the last few years, we've been getting a little bit more creative. We did some music videos and a couple shorts, and Secret Santa was last year's short. We always try to challenge ourselves a little bit and up our game a little bit when it comes to the type of creative content we're putting out there, the narrative we're creating, that kind of thing. But this year we wanted to create something that was short, which is very difficult for us to do. I have a hard time writing short content, so actually 15 minutes is short for us. And so it was a challenge to create something a little bit shorter, also something a little bit fun. And we were really inspired by this other short that we had seen. It was kind of based in the West, but it had a similar theme where it was this narrator that kind of knew everybody's business. That one was a little bit less PC, a little bit more violent. So we wanted to create a more family-friendly approach and give a little twist at the end where we actually reveal who the narrator is. So that's where the inspiration for that came from.
Yeah, and when we come up with ideas, it kills two birds. Like, we want to release something to our clients, but then if we could do it creatively and we could write a short, it's like, okay, it mirrors as two different things for us, right?
Okay.
So, and one of the other challenges was we got to get it out before Christmas, and we came up with the idea very late in the game this year. We always start in summer going, we got to come up with something for the holiday video, and then usually October, November starts to roll around, and we haven't. And then it's like, and that was one of the bigger challenges to this one, is that it was only a couple weeks out, and we're like,
really?
this idea formulated, and we're like, how are we going to do this?
I think we wrote it the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there was
like that. Yeah, it was
not much time.
It was less than a month. We wrote it,
casted,
and shot it within a 3-week period, and edited then within a week, because we released it on, I think we filmed on December 18th or 13th, December 18th, and then we released it on December 21st. Or something like that. It was a very, very tight turnaround.
Breakneck speed. That's great.
Yeah, breakneck speed for sure.
Self-inflicted, deadline, but it had to get out. It had to get out in our world before
Nobody cares about Christmas after Christmas. They had to get it done.
Well, it's great because everyone's always delayed on their Christmas shopping. It's nice to see that. It's just very human to have it.
Yeah.
But it's incredible because it's such a big ensemble cast and there's so much going on. It's far from simple. How did you guys pull that off so quick? Is this a group of people you've worked with before, these actors?
We worked with the woman playing the mother, but in a far different world. It was a fun video, not a scripted content like this. So we shot it at our house, so we had the location. So from the production side, I could talk a bit about that because I worked with the DP, and we filmed it with 3 cameras. Every take we did had 3 cameras. So we figured out how. We only had one day to shoot it. So, so everybody came early, we stayed, 10, 12-hour day.
12 hours, yeah.
And we go, how do we shoot this in 12 hours and, and get as many angles as we can and takes as we can. And the idea was to shoot it with 3 cameras. So we had individual shots being picked off the same time a 2-shot was being picked off. So we figured out the lenses and where the cameras go. And we just kept moving around the table, to be able to, just do one take. And just keep going. We ran it from top to bottom every time we did it, just to get the full pass all the way through, because half the movie is reactions, people listening to the voice and kind of
right.
You need everybody's reaction, and and whether you take that exact reaction at that moment or you move a reaction to later, that it works better, right? So we that was the only way we were going to get it shot, is to have to shoot it with 3 cameras.
But we planned that out. The week leading up to it was our pre-production period. Mark on the production side with the DP sat down and like really figured out where everyone was going to be sitting, where their eye lines were, where the cameras were going to be, which shoulder they were looking over, that kind of thing. And then I was working with cast and our makeup and wardrobe team to figure out like who these people really are, because you only get a small snippet of the character, and you get a lot about the character in this short. But we wanted to be able to tell so much more about them, so we worked very, very closely with the makeup and wardrobe stylist to figure out who they were and how we could tell their stories through that visually as well as through the dialogue.
Yeah, and then once we cast it, we ran a couple Zoom rehearsals. Tried to like just get everybody, pick the pace up, and then
because it had to be fast. It's not funny if it's not fast.
And then by the 3rd time, it's like try to be off book and let's just try to run this, So everybody came in pretty prepared, knowing we wanted to shoot it from top to bottom, knowing exactly how we were going to go around and do it, and then just to give them as many rehearsals as we could on Zoom, which is great now to be able to do technology like this, to be able to do a couple table reads, rehearsals just to get up to be able to do it in that time frame. But we really challenged everybody from makeup and wardrobe. We work with the production crew we've worked with, so we all know how to work with each other. They all know my pace, so it's like, listen, I know we usually work fast as it is, but we have to even work faster. And this is how we're going to make this day happen. So we blacked the windows out. We shot during the day, but it all takes place at night. So the night scene that takes place in the beginning was the last thing we filmed.
Okay.
And then other than that, we kind of ran it in order from top, to top to bottom at the table.
And that is the outside of our house, and that is the most it's ever been decorated for the holidays. So that was fun. That was kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
I love that. That's incredible. Well, it's a testament to having a team that you guys are confident to work with, and they know your flow and know your pace. And it's very interesting that I never would have guessed you kind of run it almost like a theater piece. And that is a testament to the chemistry that's in the film and how well everyone works together.
Yeah, we run it like a theater piece. Every now and then we'd go back and go, okay, go do that line again. Give them a couple takes at a line, just to give them some variation or quick note, and then keep going. If they flub, go okay, back it up. But yeah, we ran like a theater from top to bottom, and I think you get some good reactions from people in that, and good looks and
Absolutely.
I like to build a flow. I don't like to stop it every 5 seconds. So it's like,
it also gives the editor the opportunity to make decisions, where you're like, we have the whole thing from every angle. We didn't decide on set or in pre-production that we were only going to take this person's reaction at this moment, so it really gives us the opportunity to change it if we need it, and to know that we have almost in a weird way, like backup takes, and it gives the talent the opportunity to really live in that character for a little bit longer, and they give you a little bit more, I think, when they don't have to break character every 2 seconds. So that's always a plus. And it's funny you say that, running it kind of like a stage play, because the last short we did, One Night Stand, was actually originally written as a stage play. And I think I'm noticing that maybe that's just our style. But people pointing it out to us, I think that's kind of our style, but it works for us.
Allows that chemistry to get out there, allows people a little bit more room to embody their character. So I'm curious, it sounds like it was a great method, very perfect for what you guys were aiming to achieve. Were there difficulties with that? Were there difficulties in directing and difficulties editing?
You get a little bit boxed in. I mean, there are certain things watching back that maybe you would want someone to do a little bit of a line a different way or stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, the speed of the day and the time constraint of getting it done in one day, I think I would have liked a little bit more breathing time, and certain lines of certain people, you make slight sacrifices, doing it that way. The biggest other challenge of the day was to drop the ashes on the girl's head. There's a part where someone backed into a shelf, and the ashes.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler. Strip down and she gets covered. We only had one take of that, right? Like, so we had to test that out. We had to build to that. Every time we built to that, we stopped right there. That was a stop point from sitting down to that point. And then we had one take at that, and then we had to quickly move on to the rest of it, because then when there was ashes all over the table and the floor. Right. So that was the biggest shooting challenge, the special effects that, was done there. And just making sure that the urn didn't fall down and hit her on the head, and it landed right on her, it didn't miss, right?
Yeah. So it was a real urn too. And our production designer, Heather, she actually works in a playhouse.
Okay.
Her normal day job. So she's very used to creating things that look real from real things, but are adjusted and adapted for a film. So she took a real urn and she rigged it so that it was placed on this base that was movable, and it had a leather strap, so it could go beyond where it was supposed to hit an end and stop. It could go beyond, but then bounce a little bit, but then not fall. And she changed the lid to be a Santa. She did a lot of amazing things to make that scene work, because that was a very pivotal scene. And she tested out different flowers to see what would kind of smoke up the best.
Right. And, that's great.
She pulled it with a fishing wire just off camera. So there's a fishing wire.
Oh, okay.
Go back up, and then she pulls it, and then it happens. And we covered that. We did a close up of it just to have a close up drop into a bucket. So we have a close shot of it, and then we filmed that with 3 angles as well. So between the 5 different angles of it, we were able to piece that together within one take.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It really more and more like theater, you don't get 2 chances there. And it's funny to think that so many people are, if it's not, oh, we can fix it in post, it's oh, we can just shoot that again. Fact is, that's not always the case.
No, not something like that. Because the actress that played that character, Selena, she was covered in ash, and the clothing, the wardrobe she was in we would have needed, if we were going to do a second take of it, it would have had to have been the next day. Reset time on that would have been a long time.
Yeah. But awesome. I think the biggest challenge was just that we did it in a day, but we knew that going in, so we were able to deal with, a lot of it ahead of time. And I do have to say the day went fairly smoothly. There was no, thank God, knock on something. There were no crazy. We had to set pre lit and pre-built, because this was our house. We blocked the windows out, we decorated it, we lit it before everybody got there that day. So I guess it was more than one day in that sense, if you want to look at some of the the on location stuff as far as lighting and set design was done beforehand. But they walked in, they went in the wardrobe, they went in the makeup, and we sat down and we started going.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Well, it's a testament also to your own your professionalism with this. I'm curious, what are you guys working on next? We're approaching that Christmas season, or I suppose the appropriate time to start working on the next one. Have you guys thought about that? Or are you working on anything else right now?
We have thought about it. We've been working with producer friends of ours on a holiday feature, which is that is not for this year. But we were thinking that maybe we could do something from that for this year, or I don't know. We don't have any ideas for the holiday video this year, but we are working on a lot of other things.
We're working on other creative projects. We have other scripts we're working on. Not that everything has to be holiday. We've kind of pigeoned ourselves into this holiday thing, but we are working on other creative ideas that are not holiday centered, and it's just those more in scripting right now.
Working on a series of short documentaries, and we're also working on the pitch deck for a pilot. So there's a lot floating around for us, but nothing that we can talk about just yet.
And yet you're behind for this year's holiday video.
I think we're very behind for this year's.
I'm looking forward. I'm assuming that this next one, although we might think, okay, more time would be nice, I think the turnaround is going to be even faster. We know how that goes, and I'm excited to see what that ends up being. Do you guys have any final statements on Secret Santa?
I just had a great time doing it. You know, when it finally came together, it was like, yes, this is it. And where it was ambitious, we just said we're going for it. You know, and I think that's part of the fun of doing this. You know, and relying on a good crew and good. It's all about a good team. You know, from crew to talent. When a talent can come in and give you that script from A to Z almost every take, you're just like, awesome. You know, and so just everybody was on the same page, and it was just a lot of fun to do.
Yeah. It's amazing working with talented people. Our crew we've been working with for almost 20 years. Some of them almost 20 years. And then when you find new talent that we've never worked with before, but everybody's on the same page, it becomes a magical experience, and you don't want it to end, but you're exhausted at the end of it. So yeah, I don't know. Every time we do a new project, we finish it and I'm like, this is my new favorite project we've done. And I'm happy to say that, you know, the one we did before this was hard to beat. And then we did this one and I'm like, no, this one's my favorite too. It's cool to be able to say that, like, every time we do something, we grow a little bit, we learn a little bit. And, you know, I'm most proud of the latest one. So yeah, it's good
stuff. I love that. Well, you guys are very talented. Secret Santa is so funny. I think people are going to love it.
Thank you.
Keep on keeping on with this dynamic duo. And I'm very excited to screen this on July 16th. Thank you guys so much for talking with me today.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.